Welcome to Tiskre in Estonia. For the final of the Meeste Esiliiga T10, we have the Talon Super Strikers playing Talon United, the two teams who have gone through this competition so far undefeated. Both have been in fantastic form, and they will be competing for the title. The Super Strikers have won the toss and elected to bat first. They had a good solid victory this morning in the first semi-final, where they won by 16 runs. Again, in that match, they won the toss and opted to bat, scoring 148 for the loss of 5 in their allotted 10 overs. And they were able to restrict the Stallions to 132 for 7. United, meanwhile, their semi-final, much more convincing win. They batted first and they hit a massive 217 for 2 from 10 overs. Nandlal Ria, the standout, with 136 from just 38 balls. 16 sixes and 8 fours he smashed. And in reply, Hardik for the Riders tried to match him, but he only managed 79 from 31. And the Riders Super Kings were 148 for 4. So a 69-run victory for United. But now it is on to the final. We are here with the title deciding match. The Super Strikers are batting first, and out in the middle for them is Habib and Arslan. Opening the bowling for Talon United is going to be Anurag Singh. All overs will be bowled from the Kiev end. Umpire Tim Cross just checking the field. And looks like we are ready to get underway in the final of the MET10. Short, Habib does not get hold of it. They'll pick up 1 run. Anurag likes to use his height to bang them in short. Get the ball coming up into the body of the batter. He's done so yet again there. Dot ball from Anurag. His team will really hope to see him produce many of those. Dot ball's absolute gold dust in T10. So here comes Anurag once more to Arslan. Outside of off, top edge. And it looks like it's 6. It is. That's the thing about bowling short. Any type of edge is going to usually produce a boundary unless it finds a fielder. So, the first boundary of the Super Strikers innings. There's a maximum. Super Strikers will be looking to get about 140, 150 as a minimum. They'll back themselves to be able to prevent United getting anywhere near the 217 that they got in their semi-final. But anything less than 140, 150, I think, would be a struggle. Much fuller this time from Anurag, and Arslan picks out Ashish in the covers and picks up 1 more run for the total. United will be very happy with the singles and the dots. Arslan into Habib. It's a big swing and a miss outside of off stump. Looked like Habib was hoping for a wide, but that did not look like it was too far away. So another dot. Anurag has been a real producer of dot balls this summer, especially in the Pro 40 League. Here he comes once more. Again, it's outside of off, but this one is called a wide. So he'll have to re-bowl that. He produced a few maidens yesterday in United's victory over the Riders, which got United to be crowned the Pro 40 Liga champions for 2023. I think at one point he bowled 15 dot balls in a row. This one is another wide. It's just straying a bit too much. He's trying to keep it outside off, but inside the wide guideline, just shaping away. The tactic's right. It's just the execution needs a little bit of improvement. And that's another wide. So an over that had started off looking quite impressive with the first 4 balls of just the edge for 6 is now starting to get away from United. They cannot afford to give away lots of freebies to a team with the batting prowess of the Super Strikers. Number of national team players. Guys who'll be going to the European Cricket Championship in Malaga in Spain in just a couple of weeks. Estonia's in Group C there. Much straighter from Anurag. And Habib just picks up the 1. Habib is a national team member, but unfortunately he won't be going to Spain with the squad. Family commitments preventing him from joining. But his partner out in the middle there at the moment, Arslan, will be there. He's the captain of the Estonian men's national team. And in addition to taking part in the European Cricket Championship, the Estonian men's national team will also be playing 2 T20Is against Gibraltar just a few days before their commitments at the European Cricket Championships. It'll be on the September 30, so not long to go to that. 2 T20Is, Gibraltar versus Estonia. And then on the 2nd of October, Estonia's Group C will begin at the ECC, live and free on ECN. So Murali to bowl the second over, coming into Habib. Habib doesn't quite get hold of that one. Hamza doing the fielding. It's interesting, Hamza's been doing a lot of wicket keeping for United. He kept for 40 overs yesterday, so perhaps he's just not feeling that he can do any more this weekend. Murali comes in now to Arslan. Straight ball, smashed. That's 6. The moment it left the bat, that was flying over the boundary. Lovely shot from Arslan. And that's exactly the type of shot we'll be hoping to see him doing lots of in Gibraltar and in Spain in a few weeks. For now, he's concentrating on doing it for the Talon Super Strikers to try to pick up a trophy for this Estonian summer. Just a similar area, but this time he's picked out Anurag on the boundary, so just pick up the 1. So this final is the third men's domestic trophy on offer. The T20 title went to the Stallions, the Pro 40 to United. Murali wraps Habib on the pads. Should be called a leg by, and it is. And the MET 10 title here will go to either the Talent Super Strikers or United. So either United will have 2 trophies in the cabinet for this season, or we'll have 3 different clubs picking up the 3 major silverware for the men's competition. Really into Arslan. Drives this one through the covers. It's a glorious shot, and it's 4. Beautifully played by Arslan. Good footwork. Perfectly timed the shot, and picks up the boundary that it deserved. And there was another piece of another trophy presented today in the Meeste Super 8 Liga. Murali bowls to Arslan. He's gone through the covers again, this time a little straighter, but it's 4 more to the total. Arslan enjoying the bowling of Murali here, and that moves the Super Strikers on to 29 for no loss. They should be very happy with that. Puts them well on track for that 140, 150 mark I spoke about before. Yeah, so the Meeste Super 8 Liga is the Women's Super 8. And the second last match of that league was just played a little earlier today. And Sarama Karamakari won that match, and as such won that league, as the result in the final match next weekend cannot prevent them from winning. Well done to all the ladies taking part in that game. So Anurag back on. Short. Habib does not get hold of it. Ashish doing the fielding in the covers, and a single just to Habib. Fuller and Slan not getting quite the middle of this one, so he'll just get a single as well. Two batters desperately trying to produce as many boundaries off these opening overs as they can. This one's in the air. There's a fielder there, but it's straight over his head, and that is 6. Ayush in the third man position, just a little in off the boundary. Everything had to be back on the rope to have any chance. As you're only allowed to have 2 fielders outside the circle in the power play in T10, why one of them would be a couple of paces in from the rope is a bit strange. That's 2 6s down in that area that the Super Strikers have picked up. Much straighter this time, picks out the fielder. They should just get the one. There is some backing up. Timur doing the backing up there. So Anurag into Arslan. Fuller delivery, hit on the full. Again, just the one. Anurag will not be bothered by the singles he's giving away. Every ball that's not hit for a boundary is a bonus for United. This one is a boundary. Habib's got all of that. That's gone sailing past the scorer's tent. A little bit of a half-hearted effort from one of the super strikers. Batters sitting there waiting to thought about having a go for the crowd catch and thought better of it. And that's the end of the third over, 45 without loss. Anurag going for 28 off of his 2 overs. He didn't concede that many runs in his all of his overs in the Pro 40 match yesterday. The boundary was a lot bigger. The batter's not necessarily as good. So I'll have a change of bowling. United are going to turn to some spin. That will be Umair. One of 2 fielders out on for United who have got 53 on their back. Timur being the other one. This is Umair. Handy spinner. Gets it to land in the right areas. He can cause some difficulties for batters. Let's see if Arslan's going to go on the attack against him right from the start. Drives this one to the long off fielder. Really? Unsurprisingly, United have now got 5 fielders on the boundary as they are allowed. He has to have 4 inside the ring. They do. They have a gully, a point, a cover. This one's in the air. Murali, the fielder's there. He takes the catch. He's stayed inside the rope. It's very well held. That is a really good catch. Fantastic effort and a big wicket of Habib. Habib's probably wondering if the umpire could see or if the fielder had paid any attention to whether he kept his foot inside the rope. And I'm right behind where he took the catch, and I can tell you his foot was inside and did not make contact with the rope at all. Fantastic grab. And the very dangerous Habib departs. Big wicket for United there. And when you see one of your teammates take a really good catch like that, really boosts you. Sends a wave of confidence through the side. So the first wicket falling for the Super Strikers, courtesy of a very good catch. Ali Masood is the new batter. That's gone for a wide down the leg side. It might run away all the way to the boundary. It does. That's 5 wides. It wasn't wide by much. Ali Masood was quite interested in making contact. He just wasn't able to. This one's outside off stump, and it's hit to the point fielder. He's gone for the catch, but he's put it down. Not an easy chance. Diving forward. May have just landed in front of him. My view was slightly obscured by another fielder. That was Timur at point making the diving effort. Arslan sweeps us to the deep square leg, so they just pick up the 1. It's a deep square leg, cow corner, long on, long off. And then the deep extra cover. They're just asking, there's the 12th man for United does not have a bib on, and he's about standing a metre behind the rope, so it looks like an extra fielder. Oh, that's got through the gap somehow. And it's gone over the rope for 4. Looks like the umpire's signalling that it's off the bat. So he has gotten something onto it. Did look like it had somehow magically just gotten through every little gap. So the end of the over, 61 for 1. 4 overs completed. The Super Strikers will be happy with the runs tally. Happy that where the score is getting along to getting them to a good level. United will be happy to have gotten the wicket of Habib, but they know that there's still more batting. And it's much more about trying to stem the flow of boundaries. And they really can't give away any more 5 wides. So Ashish, the new bowler for United. He comes into Aslan. It's in the air, it's quite straight. There's 2 fielders coming around. Gets cut off. It shows that the long on and long off. Oh, it's a big shot. It stumps and he's gone. Ali Masood is daydreaming. They completed the run, and yet, with the overthrow, scampers off, gets sent back, and is not able to remake his ground. So United with the second breakthrough of the innings, and that is a cheap way to give away your wicket, really. The only way to describe it. Absolutely perfect throw. Had to be direct or it wasn't going to get the wicket. Ajit, the wicketkeeper, was very smartly onto it and got the breakthrough for his team. So Ashish will now be bowling to the new batter, Cheyenne. And he picks up a dot ball. Cheyenne has showed he can be quite explosive with the bat. He had an innings earlier where he hit the first 4 balls he faced for 6 and then got out on the 5th one. And I'd say 24 or 5 balls is a very good return rate. That will be wide from Ashish. Super Strikers will hope that Cheyenne can smash a few boundaries. Unnecessarily worried about how long he stays out there. It's can he up the run rate? Can he get some scores on the board? Drives this one. Anurag coming around will do the fielding. 1 to Cheyenne. Quite a warm day for September here in Talon. It's 24 degrees. There's a pleasant breeze, keeping things nice and comfy. Arslan goes straight. This will be fielded by Anurag again. He's doing a lot of work at long on. It's a very good position to put a fielder of his size. Makes it look so hard to get a boundary when he's there occupying so much space. But this is going to be 6. That's well struck from Cheyenne. That's the type of hitting he can do. So does Ashish have a reply to the 6? It goes wide outside of off stump and it's called a wide. One thing, Ashish has got a good Yorker, but Cheyenne is one of those batters who will take on the Yorker and step forward and just smash it straight back over your head. Doesn't quite get hold of this one. He still will pick up a single as Mohammed Hamza does the fielding. And that will be the end of the over. 73. The umpire's just conferring if it is the end of the over. It is the end of the over. Just double checking. There was a couple of wides in there. Once that single's put into the scorebook, it's the end of the over. 5 gone, 73 for 2 is the score. I'll have Umair bowling yet again. Picked up a wicket with his very first delivery. It did go for 16 in the over. Shan showing a bit of respect, just waiting on it. Could have a good battle between those two. Umair likes to give it a bit of flight. Shan likes to go big, go after the ball. But now it is Umair to Arslan. He goes big, and that is a massive 6. Goes flying just to the right of the sportsbet.io container and races meters and meters beyond it. That was a 6 no matter what the format, no matter what the ground. Marion again lights this one well outside of off. Wide called by umpire Tom Hale. And that will be 6. Oh, yep. It just started to keep straying further and further to my left, the batter's right. And Murali was chasing around after it, but it is 6. Arslan moves on to 40. In the air, it's quite high, but that's still 6. It's sailing about 10 metres over the rope. Being T10, the boundary is 50 metres all the way around. So Arslan moves on to 46 from 16 deliveries. 5 6s and 2 4s so far in this knock, which has been excellent for the Super Strikers. And he's gone again. He's smashed Umair out of the park. That ball has gone through the logs onto the road. Gone across the road into the grass. Sahil doing the fielding, collecting, retrieving from the long grass. Bring it back. Arslan really giving Umair some stick here. Smashing him around, and it's a well-earned 52 not out from Arslan off 17 deliveries. Here he comes again. And there goes Arslan again. That's another 6. It's another massive, massive shot. Little square this time. Goes into the logs. That's just a massive over. That's huge for the Super Strikers. 5 6s. Single and a wide coming from it. And it takes the Super Strikers past 100. And they're looking in very good position now. United, they got to stem these runs a bit. Probably the biggest key to doing that is to dismiss Arslan. But he's hitting things pretty truly at the moment. And finding the rewards. Ashish to bowl the 7th over. Cheyenne on strike. Going at a pedestrian at 9 from 5 balls. Pedestrian by his standards. He just picks out a single. And the way Arslan's hitting the ball at the moment, you would, if you're Cheyenne, just get Arslan on strike. They've now brought in a fielder very, very straight. He's just a metre to the right of the umpire, but he's just inside the circle. So they've basically got a long on and a deep long on. Anurag is on the boundary. Mohammed Hamza is on the 30-yard circle. So they are, and now they're moving him a little wider, put him in between the long on and one of the 2 cow corner fielders. And so he goes to the offside. And it's just gone over the boundary for 4. Yeah, there's 2 guys who are basically both on the edges of the sort of cow corner region. So basically call one of them a deep mid-wicket, but they are so close to each other. Ashish in again. This has gone aerial, but it's gone into a gap. That will be 4 more. The Super Strikers are smashing boundaries in every direction now. United don't really look like they've got any counter for it. But as a team who scored over 200 in the semi-final, they'll probably still back themselves to be able to chase down whatever they've got being asked to. Here comes Ashish into Cheyenne. It's a straighter one. Little inside edge. It's still going to race away for 4. It doesn't matter how much bat they get on it and what direction it goes. At the moment, almost everything the Super Strikers connect with crosses the boundary one way or another. It's over really becoming expensive. And to have bowlers like Ashish and Anurag to go for the amount of runs they have is not that great for United. This one's on the body, flicked away, and that will be 4 more. That's the over done. Ashish's 2 overs have gone for 30. The super strikers 123 for the loss of 2 after 7 overs. Aslan on 59, Cheyenne 26 not out. And if these two can remain there for all the balls of the remaining 3 overs, the Talon super strikers are going to have a super score in which to ask United to try to chase down. So the hero of the for United in the semi-final is going to come on to bowl, Nand. In case you missed it, Nand smashed a spectacular knock in the first semi-final, 136 from 38 deliveries, including 16 sixes and 8 fours. The way things are going at the moment for United, they might be relying on him to do something similar if they're going to win this final. So Nand into Arslan. Straight in the air, but he's just gotten it wide and high enough, and that's 6 more. There are fielders on the boundary at deep long off and deep cover. They're both moving towards it, but then all they could do was watch it sail over their heads. Straight, smashed, straight over the head of Anurag. That's 6 more. Arslan's seeing him like watermelons at the moment. Looking in very good touch for his 71. Drives this one along the ground. Anurag will get his body behind it, and he does stop the 4. It was well struck, but he'll just get the single for it. So Nand continues to Cheyenne. Drives this one again straight to Anurag just for the 1 run. Anurag is such a big target, it's quite difficult for the batters not to pick him out, but that's part of the reason why he's where he is. And he is doing a lot of work down there. This one just gone wide. Thought for a moment it wrapped Arslan on the pads, but umpire Tom Hale signals a wide. That's huge. Absolutely huge. It's landed about 2-3 metres shy of the sports bet container. Another big 6 for Arslan. He really is just scoring with ease here. None got any type of reply. Oh, his top edge, it's in the air, but it's going to fall safe. He's managed to not get enough on it for it to be a chance really this time, and they get 2. Deep square leg in the deep mid wicket. we just, by both being on the boundary, had no chance to get to it. 23 coming from the over. Super Strikers 2 for 146. So Murley is going to return. He went for 16 off his first over. And now he's bowling to two batters who are well set and have only got one thing on their minds. Wraps Cheyenne on the pads. They'll just stroll through for a single. Really won't mind that too much. Anything's better than 6 at this stage. Arslan on 80. There's plenty of balls remaining for him to be able to get this up to triple figures. And with 6s like that, oh no, it's just fallen short, but it's been dropped. Off the bat, it looked like it was sailing over the boundary for a 6, but then suddenly it's just dropped out of the sky, and Anurag and Mohammed Hamza, the deep long on, deep long off, had both come around and were both a bit surprised that it suddenly dropped. Hamza got underneath it, but he was unable to hold on to it. So 1 run to Arslan. Murley into Cheyenne now. Wide outside of off. And rightfully called so by umpire Tim Cross. United might rue that drop catch. You just more to break up the momentum that these two batters are building. This is another wide. He's trying to keep it just inside the tram track, but he's unable to. Yeah, one of the biggest things that wickets in T10 does is breaking up momentum. You got two batters who are in a partnership like this. Get rid of one of them. Get a newbie out there. Suddenly things can change and you can get some more dot balls. Really to Cheyenne. And this is high. Anurag's coming under it. Oh, no. Sahil's under it and Sahil will take the catch. Anurag could have had the catch. Sahil gave him the call. Anurag respected the call. And there is the breakthrough that United have been looking for. Time will tell if this has interrupted the momentum of the Super Strikers. With only 1.5 overs remaining, every new batter will be coming out just trying to hit boundaries. I'd actually argue that what they should be doing is just to push a single and get Arslan on strike. The man's on 81 from 25 deliveries. He's seeing it like a beach ball. You want to give him as much of the strike as possible. If you want to try to get your team score as high as it possibly can. Doesn't matter about the quality of the new batters. They are new batters. Anant Gupta is the new man at the crease. It's Murley over. A leg by, a single, 2 wides and a wicket. The important thing for United is no boundaries. Straightish. That's this one just wide of gully. And he'll pick up 4. Well, so much for no boundaries. Immediately changed. I do think the United probably should have gotten the field in a bit tighter. Tried to keep them. Don't let the new man get to any singles. Don't let him get any. Make him actually have to force the ball through or over the infield to get any runs. But they're keeping with the same field. 4 players in the 30-yard circle on the off, none on the onside. This is cut away, and that will be 4 more. Nunt has come out firing. And he's making some valuable contributions to his side's tally. Murley comes in once more to Anant. Swing and a miss. He's beaten the bat outside of off stump. It's a good delivery from Murley. Much needed dot ball for United. Super Strikers not too worried about that. They already got 12 runs from the over. Murley finishing out with figures of 1 for 28. 27, sorry. Putting the leg by onto him. So, final over. Nund is going to bowl it. He did get smashed around his previous over. In the air, and that is 6. That's a big hit from Arslan. That would have been 6 in the Pro 40 League. That has gone well over 70 metres. Arslan moves on to 87. Superstitious number for some batters. Arslan doesn't quite get hold of this, but he will still pick up a 4. Thing about T10, you don't even have to find the middle of the bat to get a boundary. Just find a gap. Now Arslan gets to 91 from 27 deliveries. Is he going to get to triple figures, or is none going to stop him? This is outside off. He's got an edge. He's going to get 4 more. Goes through the vacant slip for Asian. The third man not able to do anything about it at all. Again, he wasn't right back on the rope. Arslan doesn't care though, because he's now on 95. And he's got 3 more deliveries in which to pick up that 5 more runs for a century. And that will be a wide. Now into Arslan. Swing and a miss. His partner was interested in trying to get a bye, but Arslan sent him back. It would have been suicidal, and might as well keep Arslan on strike for the last 2 balls. And he's smashed this, and that's 6. That brings up his ton. Goes straight over the head of Murley at long off. And comes rolling to stop just in front of the commentary hut here. I could reach out the window and pat Murley on the head as he picks up the ball. I'm not going to though. So a fantastic knock from Arslan, 101 from 30 deliveries, 12 sixes and 4 fours at a strike rate of 336. And the Estonian men's national team head coach Richard Cox will be very happy to see his captain in such fine form leading up to the ECC as he drives this one. They're coming back for the second. The throw's going to the keeper's end, but it's wide, so they easily get the 2. Arslan says, that'll do. No need to add any more. 181 for the loss of 3 wickets will be the final score for the Talon Super Strikers. It's a hefty total. It's a very defendable total. But the team that they have to defend it against just a couple of hours ago hit 217 off 10 overs. So they know that they're going to be bowling into a side who are capable of scoring this type of total. The question is, will they? Excellent knock again from Arslan for his not out. 103. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes to see if the Super Strikers can defend this or if United will chase it down. So we are just a couple of minutes away from resuming the final of the Meeste Esiliiga T10 to find out who will be the champions for 2023, the Talon Super Strikers or Talon United. Super Strikers have posted an impressive 181 for the loss of 3. Talon United will be looking to replicate what they did in the semi-final when they scored 217 for the loss of 2. The star there was Nand, who got 136 not out of just 38 deliveries. Very well supported by Anurag with 52 not out from 13 deliveries. So the Super Strikers know that they're facing a team here who have got the ability to score this type of total, but they're probably also thinking that they've got a better bowling attack than the Riders, who were the victims of that massive smash and grab from Nand earlier today. So as the umpires and players make their way back out onto the field, see that Nand will again be opening the batting with Ayush Umat. Ayush this morning got 11 from 5 balls. And opening the bowling for the Super Strikers shall be Habib. He didn't open the bowling this morning, actually, in their semi-final against the Stallions. It was, I believe, I'm not sure if the guy who opened the bowling is actually playing the final. It was Zohaib. But this match is this one, not that one. And so we'll have Habib to Ayush. It's outside, it's called a wide. Ayush looked to go chasing it a bit. Had a bit of a half-hearted flap at it, and it is one in the wides column. This one's again outside off stump, but he's just gotten a dot ball for that one. Managed to keep it inside the line. The Super Strikers currently just got the one fielder outside of the 30-yard circle, and that is the third man you can see standing on the boundary. Ayush charges this one, gets it through the infield on the offside, and that will be 4 runs to properly get the United run chase underway after the first delivery was wide. He's taking advantage of the fact that almost all of the fielders are inside the ring. They're now going to bring the third man up into the circle, and they're actually pushing man onto the boundary at cow corner. This is close to the body, top edged, and that's gone just over the rope for 6. Not the most convincing shot in the world, but Ayush isn't going to care about that at this point in time because he's gotten a 6 and gotten his team heading in the right direction. He charges Habib again, and this will be a dot ball. He's asking Nand if it's swinging away a little bit, but cuts this one over the top of the infield, bounces once over the rope for 4. Very, very good shot from Ayush there. This time he's had no problems with the width that Habib has given him. And now it's 15 runs so far from this over. So Habib comes in for what should be the final ball of the first over, but it's not going to be because it's a wide. It's got through the keeper and it's gone all the way to the boundary. That will be 5 wides. So the opening over has now gone magical. 20 runs from it, and there's still a ball remaining. This is not the way you go about defending any type of score, even if it is as big as 181. Let's say that the Super Strikers have made things a little easy for United here. But can Habib respond? He again goes wide. It's a direct hit, but Nand had made his ground. So they'll pick up a single. 21 for none from the one over. Tunnel United will be absolutely ecstatic with that. They did need just over 18 runs over at the beginning of this innings and to come out first over and clear that hurdle with some space is going to give them a lot of confidence. But they've got to keep doing it over after over here against a strong Super Strikers side. It will be Arslan to bowl the second over. Ayush on strike. Short. It's going to be a wide. He's just failed to pull that one. And the Super Strikers are going to have to be careful about these wides. Can't afford to give away freebies and give your opponents an extra delivery to score off of. You get punished for it in T10 far more than you do in longer formats. Giving your opponents a couple of extra overs due to the number of wides or no balls you bowl can be very costly. So Arslan into Ayush. He's gone down the leg side again. That's another wide. He's coming around the wicket. He's trying to get the ball coming into the body, but his line is off. This one's going across the body. Much better delivery. That'll get them a dot ball. It's good strategy bowling across the body of batters like that, although Ayush is quite good outside of off stump, as he's shown with a few boundaries in the previous over. Straighter, this one goes flying high in the air, fielders are running back, and they'll get back for 2. The fielder who was giving chase must have picked up an injury earlier. He was really struggling. And then he's hit his knee as he was diving for the ball. And he's really hobbling around now. But So Arslan into Ayush again. This one's going to clear the rope. That's 6. Does it with ease. Just picked it up. Perfect timing. Out of the middle of the bat. And that's a 6. Arslan into Ayush. Ayush dances down the wicket, hits this one high. Fielders at cover is coming in, and he takes the catch. I think that might be Elias who's picked up the catch there. In the covers, it was all height, no length at all. Ayush departs after a good little innings to get his team out of the blocks. And Arslan with the first wicket of the match, of the innings. Sorry for the Super Strikers. Yeah, it was Elias who took the catch. Ayush departing for 23 from 10. 2 4s and 2 6s. Very useful innings, as long as a couple of other batters for his team are putting in similar, and one of them goes particularly big. Sahil is the new batter. Arslan bowling to him now. Short. Into the torso. That awkward region, especially for a new batter. Sahil, of course, yesterday in the Pro 40 League, hit 190. He is a batter who likes to play himself in. He is more suited to the longer formats. He's gone for the whack straight away here, and he's picked out Habib, and Habib has dropped it. He had it, but he just could not quite hold on to it. His momentum took him to the ground, and as he hit the ground, the ball bobbled out. It looked like he'd done everything right, but unable to hold on to the catch and dismiss the very dangerous Sahil for a duck. Instead, he picks up 1 run, and that's 32 for 1 after 2 overs. So the run rate required going back to over 18. It's quite ridiculous that 11 runs off an over is so far below par for the match that the required run rate suddenly leaps up by a few. But that's the situation we're in. That's T10 cricket. Ali Masood, he'll be the new bowler from the Kiev end. And his cap over to the umpire. We're out of the power... Well, not out of the power play. Why have we got so many fielders outside the ring? As one just comes in. This one's... I think just wraps the hill on the pads. All giving chase. They're coming back for 2. I think it's going to be 2-leg byes. Wait for the call from the umpire. It is 2-leg byes. So Ali Masood to Sahil. Oh, wraps him on the pads again. I'll come through for 1 more leg bye. Super Strikers will be more than happy with that. 1s and 2s will not do it. United have to be hitting multiple boundaries and over. And Nand is on strike to finally face a ball midway through the 3rd over. And he's picked up where he left off in the semi-final as he hits his first ball for 6. just picks it up off his body, guides it over backward square leg. Absolutely effortless. If anyone thought maybe he'd used up all of his prowess in the semi-final, that magnificent 136 not out, he's showing here he's still got plenty left in the tank. You put it in the areas he likes, he's going to put you over the boundary. Straight a ball from Ali. They should just get the one as this is hit straight to Arslan at mid-on. And it is just the one. Ali to Sahil. This one's gone a wide down leg side and it's going to be 5 wides. If he's gonna ping it in at the body like that, he's got to give a signal to his wicketkeeper so he can be prepared, because he's not putting it well wide of the batter down the leg side there. But at the pace he's bowling, his keeper's not really got much chance. He's blindsided for a lot of the delivery, and it's not until it's gotten past the batter that he's got any visibility on it. By then, it's pretty much too late for him to be able to throw his body at it. $15 from the over so far. It's still not at the required run rate. A boundary here, and we'll make this a United over. Sahil comes forward, does not get hold of that. He's top edged it. The gully comes in and takes the catch. Sahil departs, trying to force things along, and it's not worked out for him. I think that Zoaib has taken the catch. Ali Masood picking up the scalp of Sahil. And Super Strikers would be very happy to have removed Sahil for such a low score. But the new batter in is a big name, a big man, and a big hitter. Anurag comes to the crease. While all the attention rightfully is on Naan for his 136 not out in the semi-final, Anurag had a brilliant 52 not out from just 13 deliveries. So they know, the Super Strikers, that they may have just removed one dangerous batter, only for him to be replaced by another. Ali Masood is going to come round the wicket for what should be the final ball of the third over. Just gets a little on it, enough to get one run and retain the strike. Poor old Nant really struggling for the strike here in this final. For a player who scored 136 not out in the semi-final and 3 overs into the final, and he's only faced 2 deliveries. He's got 7 runs. So 48 for 2 after 3. The power play has been completed. The field, we expect, will be spread out a little bit. And Darling United doing okay in touching distance. They've got to keep that required run rate under 20. You do feel that once it gets over that, it starts to become very problematic, especially this early in the innings. If you're needing 20 and over off the last 2, yeah, that can be gettable. But when you've got to do it for 7 overs, it becomes a bit of a struggle. So Zohaib will be the new bowler. Just making a few final adjustments to the field. Third man goes back onto the rope. Long off, long on, deep mid-wicket. Big swing and a miss from Anurag. It's come off the keeper. I think the third man's just kept it inside the rope. They'll get back for 2. I think to see what the umpire says. Leg byes. Couple of well-run leg byes like that useful for United, but only if they can get a few boundaries. That one brought up the 50 for them. There's another big swing and a miss from Anurag. Ball's going between batter and stumps. So Habe's just getting it in on an awkward angle for him. So it's smart bowling from the Super Strikers. And he comes in once more. This is hit long, hit hard, and it goes sailing over the head of the fielder at long off for 6. That's what Anurag can do. He doesn't just look long, he's also able to hit long. Here comes Zohaib. Cut away. He hasn't quite got enough of that. He has got the gap. The fielder has tried to stop it with an outstretched leg, and it goes over the top of the leg for 4. This is what we saw from the Super Strikers earlier. This is what United have got to do. You've got to be able to score boundaries at all parts of the park if you're going to have any chance of chasing down a total such as 182. Drives this one. It's straight to the limping fielder, which I think might be Bilal. No, it's not Bilal. Big swing and a miss from Nand. So Habe's got the United batters swinging and missing a few times here. 61 for 2 after 4. The required run rate now has crept just over 20. $13 and over is not enough. United are going to find another boundary and over, at least. Or have one very, very big over to really put a dent in that required run rate. So Elias, the new bowler. Anurag dances down. He's got hold of that. It's going to land just inside the rope for 4. Coming off the end of the bat, but he's got enough on it. Puts those long arms to use. Elias coming in once more. Anurag dances once more, hits this one very straight. Arslan will come in and do the fielding, cutting it off, keeping it to 1. And that brings the almost forgotten man of the United batting lineup in the final, Nant, onto strike. Short, whips it away, 4 runs. This is why they need Nand on strike a lot more. We're halfway through the 4th over, and he's basically had less than a ball per over so far in this innings. And I'd say he is the man United need to face a lot more deliveries. Well, the Super Striker's fairly happy that he's not had as much of the face so far in this innings. So Ilias comes into Nand, swinging a miss. Nand stepping away for it. Big appeal. He's gone. He's been given out, stumped. He's straight out in playing the shot. The keeper was fully aware. He's thrown the stumps down, and the umpire's finger goes straight up, and Nand departs. 11 off just 4. The hero for United in the semi-final is not able to make anywhere near the contribution in the final. Is that curtains for United in the hopes of taking out the Meeste 10 championship? They'll be very disappointed. Nand will be very disappointed in himself. The Super Strikers very, very happy with their wicketkeeper being so aware and being able to throw the stumps down so well, so quickly. So Umair is the new batter for United. Short, outside off, it's another dot ball. Too many United batters are stepping away from the ball when it's outside off, rather than stepping to it. Cut away, that will be 4. When they don't step away from the ball and they can get contact on those short balls outside of off, they're able to get the reward for it. But thanks to a little bit of a lack of attention, that over will be one that's in the favour of the Super Strikers. 13 runs coming from it, and the big wicket of Nand. So 5 overs completed, 74 for 3. United needing 108 runs from the last 30 balls. Now I feel there's a lot on this pair out in the middle now. They need to be here, hang around for a few overs at least. They're both big hitters. So Habe continues. Anurag dances down. He's picked out Habib on the boundary, so it should just be the one. Zohaib comes into Umair. This one is a wide down leg side. Umair's got a very open stance. And this is on the body, flicked off, one bounce, fielder comes around, does well to cut it off. So they just get the single. Umair would have felt he should have gotten a boundary for that, but the fielder was very quick, doing an excellent job out there. Anurag on strike now. Dances down again. In the air, going to find the gap. Habib should cut it off on the boundary and does. I really do think that Anurag needs to stop dancing down the wicket. I think if he doesn't keep coming forward like that, he'll be a little bit more balanced when he's making these shots and be able to put them over the boundary for 6. That's going to be a wide. Yeah, just think when Anurag's dancing down, he's too often, his head's moving about as he hits it. That'll be another wide down the leg side. And he's not in complete control, and that's why he's not getting the ball to clear. The field is on the boundary. Whereas a little bit more patience, let the ball come to you. And I think any contact he's making is going to be sailing over the rope. Right. At the moment, the battle is Zohaib to Amer. Straight ball, cuts away. That goes through the covers for 4. Nice shot from Amer. Opened up the face of the bat. Nice cover drive. But United still, they're not picking up enough boundaries per over. We really need to dispatch these last 2 balls of this over, both for boundaries to be in touch. It's hit high, it's hit long, and that will be 6. That's exactly what United needed. It's a good shot from Amer. Really nice straight drive. And all Arslan could do on the boundary was watch it sail way over his head. Much needed 6 for United. It's a swing and a miss. He's tried to pull that one, and it really wasn't there to be pulled. Well, looks like the umpire's given it as a run. He must have made some contact. So 91 for 3 after 6. They need exactly 91 more. They've got to double their score, but they've got to do it in 2 less overs. And I'd say that would then, that means that's going to require quite a few more gifts from the Super Strikers bowlers if they're going to have any chance. They'll need to bowl, United batters will need the Super Strikers bowlers to bowl more wides and no balls. As Ilyas continues, wraps him on the pads. That will be a leg bye. This is what a lot of the Super Strikers bowlers have been doing here in this final, bowling into the legs. They know they're risking the leg side wide. But as long as the United batters try to come forward and try to play it off the pads, it's a lack of boundaries. But this one's picked out the gap, and that will be 4. Anurag just hitting it over the head of the fielder just inside the ring, who is limping. I'm not sure of the identity of. Anurag dances again. This time he's picked out Habib. Has he? Oh, it's just gone outside of his reach and just makes it over the rope for 6. I think if Arslan or Cheyenne had been fielding that position, they would have taken that as a quite easy catch. It was just out of the reach of Habib, though. So that's a 6. And this is starting to look like the type of over that United need if they're going to have any chance to chase this down. They've got to keep it going, but Ilyas is bowled out in an awkward position for Anurag, and he can only pick up the 1 run. And United need boundaries. And the Super Strikers basically don't really care what happens. out of each ball as long as it's not a boundary. And this one's gone through both the legs of the batter and then missed the keeper, and the umpire is signalling it as 4 runs. So Umair has gotten something on that. It's difficult to see from this distance. I thought he may have just gone through both his legs, but it looks as though he's done a replication of Steve Smith and Heaven Knight party trick. Those 2 batters who have famously hit the ball between their legs. Not sure if Umair did it as deliberately as Heather or Steve have done it in the past, but he's not going to care because he's got a 4. And it's 16 from this over. He hasn't got hold of this properly. He should be out. He is. The catch is taken. Umair's innings is over. Elias picks up a 2nd wicket for the match. And just as Umair was starting to really look like he could get United within touching distance, he departs, caught by Cheyenne. So an over that had the potential to go away for United has instead gone the way of the Super Strikers. 16 runs for United from it, but 16 is not enough for it to be an over that goes into the side of the ledger for United. Not when they're requiring 25. Mohammad Hamza, the new batter, but as it was the end of the over, he will begin his innings from the non-striker's end. Ali Masood returning to bowl the 8th over. His previous over went for 1 for 13. This is smashed by Anurag. That's a huge 6. Couple of bounces, a little bit of a roll, stops just in front of the logs. Very, very big hit. That's what United have got to do. He's essentially got to hit 4 of those and over. And for once there, Anurag didn't come dancing down the pitch. And you've seen how effective it is. Ali now changing to around the wicket. Anurag does dance down this time. Doesn't get hold of it. Picks out Arslan on the boundary for 1. Anurag very frustrated with himself. He really felt like that one should have been flying over the boundary. When Anurag's annoyed with himself, he has a bit of a saying he says to himself of, "Come on, boy, come on." And I'm quite certain that's what he's been saying to himself just now. Wideish, cut away by Hamza, fielded by the point. And that is a single. So Ali to Anurag. That will be a wide. Ali sees the way Anurag is set up. Very open stance. He knows that Anurag's looking to go towards cow corner, so he's trying to push it wide of him. Short, slow. Anurag's not able to be patient enough. And it's a swing and a miss and a dot ball, and those are really hurting United. Each and every one of these dot balls really making life hard for them. Ali comes in once more. Short once more. Oh! Big chance for Corton Bold. Got both hands to it. Unable to keep hold of it. He would have been distracted by Mohammed Hamza, the non-striker, standing right basically where the ball was hit to. Oh, he gets this one across the body of Anurag, and as such, he's only able to get the toe of the bat on it and pick up the one run. That's the plan working there for Ali Masood. And that's the end of his spell. He's done well. 1 for 23 from his 2 overs. So there's only 2 overs remaining. 12 balls, 65 runs required by United. 32 and a half runs required per over. They're basically needing 5 sixes and a 4. You can also make it slightly easier on yourself and just hit 6 sixes. But Anurag's last name is Singh. Another Singh famously did hit 6 sixes at Kingsmead Stadium. But this isn't going to be a 6. This is going to be out. Ali Masood takes the catch. It was right down his throat from Anurag. Anurag departs. A good innings of 38. But his team really needed something much bigger than that if they were going to have any chance to chase down this huge total. New batter is Ajit. Aslan comes into Ajit. Short. Doesn't quite get hold of it. When Hamza calls him through, Ajit was very confused as to where the ball had gone. And he won't even get the run as it was a leg by. Here comes Aslan to Hamza. Top edge, that should roll away for 4. Aslan, the man who got the runs for his team in the first innings, comes into Hamza. It's this one into the covers. They'll just pick up the 1. So to back up with his century in the first innings, Aslan has so far got figures of 2 for 16. He's got 2 more balls to go. Oh, and he's picked up a 3rd wicket. Ajit plays on. So a century and a 3 for Aslan. Really stepped up for his side here in the final with a match-winning performance with both bat and ball. He's 103 not out of 31 deliveries in the first innings. And he's currently 3 for 16 with 1 ball remaining. So he's not going to be able to get a fifer. his last ball of the Estonian domestic season. Now awaits him. New batter coming out is Murali. Takes his guard. Here comes Arslan. In the air. Bounces just in front of Habib. He takes it very casually. That completes the over. Arslan finishing up with 3 for 17. Fantastic effort. Combined with his 103 not out. That really is a superb performance by Arslan, who will deserve a lot of the credit for winning this title for the Super Strikers. It will mean that the 3 men's domestic competitions have each been won by a different club. As Habib comes on for the final over, really just drives that one to long on for a single. Talon Stallions picked were the T20 title winners this year. It's in the air. It's going to land very safe and just be one more run to Hamza. Yesterday, Talon United were crowned Pro 40 Liga champions. Really just hits this one straight back to Habib. And just a couple more balls. This is in the air, found the gap, that will be 4. Yeah, and 2 more balls. The Talon Super Strikers will become the MET10 winners. They'll be presented with the trophy. As Habib has decided he's going to come over the wicket for the final couple of balls. In the air, should fall safe. We're all very much just going through the motions here. 50 runs still required. As Habib comes in to bowl the final ball. And top edge racing away to the boundary, and it's going to be kicked over the boundary by Zaheb down there. So they finish with a 4. 135 for 6 is the score on the board for Talon United. But it's not enough. The Talon Super Strikers have run out victors with a very well-earned win here in the final against Talon United by 46 runs. Arslan Amjad, of course, the player of the match with his 103 not out and his 3 for 17. Fantastic effort with both bat and ball by Arslan there. And that is the end of the final and the end of our summer of Estonian domestic cricket being live streamed. This is the final match in any of our men's leagues. There's one final domestic match next weekend in the Meeste Super 8 Liga. But that title's already been decided and won by Saramak Karamakari. So this will be the last live stream. You can, again, as I said, see the Estonian men's national team in action at the ECC live on ECN starting 2nd of October. Thank you for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed it. Congratulations to the Super Strikers on taking the final. And We'll see you next year.